In this video, we will look at some basic search functionalities of the Sofia Discovery tool. First though, let's talk about the context that brought about the Sofia Discovery tool, and that's the Shared Services Platform Partnership, or SSP. The SSP is a partnership that started a few years ago between the 18 BCI libraries in Quebec. The goal is that all 18 libraries share one cloud-based service, specifically the OCLC WorldShare Management Service. This service combines all of the modules necessary for what's called library workflows. So this includes things like workflows that allow us to buy books and other resources, workflows that we use for cataloging or for managing the licenses that accompany our online resources like journals or ebooks. But the most visible outcome of the partnership and shared service is the Sofia Discovery tool. This is what all of our users see, and this is what we're going to talk about in this video. But before we get to that, let me just quickly mention some of the outcomes from the partnership. They include things like aligned policies, so things like everyone having the same renewal policies, fines, or how many books users can take out. Another outcome is that users will be able to go to other BCI university libraries and borrow materials using their Concordia student ID instead of a BCI card, which is what students had to use in the past. And finally, the shared service will open up lending between the BCI libraries. Essentially what this means is that when users are in the Sofia Discovery tool, they will be able to make requests for books or other items directly from the lending library. So BCI will become one big library that people can borrow from. So now let's focus on the Sofia Discovery tool. First off, let's define the term Discovery tool. A discovery tool is an online library searching tool that provides an all-in-one interface for finding both local library items, online subscriptions, and open access resources. In the past, in order to find what I called local library items in the definition that I just read, we used the Clues catalog, which allowed us to find books, ebooks, magazines, newspapers, CDs, DVDs, and so on. On top of Clues, prior to the Sofia Discovery tool, we actually already had a discovery service. It was owned by a company called EBSCO, and it allowed us to find not only what we would normally find in the Clues catalog, so books and ebooks and DVDs, but it also allowed us to find online articles from journals or magazines or newspapers that were in many of the databases that we subscribe to. But now, through the SSP partnership, we have the Sofia Discovery tool, which replaces both the Clues catalog and our previous EBSCO Discovery tool. This is what you see now on the library homepage, and every 18 BCI library has this same discovery tool, and we'll talk in a minute about how sharing this tool works when you're searching for items that are just in the Concordia collection. So let's talk about what the Sofia Discovery tool does. From the library homepage, you can use the search box to do your search, and one of the easiest and most common things to do in Sofia is what we call a known item search. A known item search is when you type in, or copy and paste, the title of a book or an ebook or an article or anything else that you're looking for, and that's in our collection either in print or online. And once you find the item in the Discovery tool, it will show you how you can access it, and we'll talk about accessing books or ebooks or articles in just a few moments. As well as using the search box on the library homepage, you can also access Sofia through the Find menu in the gray bar on the library website. And this will bring you to the Sofia homepage. But you can also get to the Sofia homepage by using the URL or the link that you see at the top of the screen. So on top of doing a known item search like we just did, you can also do just a straight keyword search to find items on a particular topic. So here's an example of a keyword search for Montreal architecture. After you've run your search, you'll see in the left-hand side of the screen that your results are limited to just Concordia collections. But this is where the partnership comes in. At any time, you can expand your search to not only include materials that you can find at Concordia, but also all the material that's available in all the other Quebec University libraries. You can even expand it to search for material that's available in libraries worldwide. Also on the left-hand side of the screen, we can see all the different types of material that our search retrieved. That way, if I'm only looking for articles or books or videos, I can limit my search accordingly by choosing one of these formats. As for retrieving or viewing the documents that I've found, it depends on whether or not what we've found is online or in print. Let's look at the first example. The title of the book is Montreal Metropolis, 1880 to 1930. We can see that it's a print book. We can also see that it's held by Concordia and it's available at the Webster Library. If I want more detail about the book, I can simply click on the title of the book. A new panel will appear on the right of the screen. In this pane, you can click on the arrow to view the description if you want to learn more about the book. Under the Check Availability section, you can click on the Request button in order to request the book. After you've requested the book, you get an email letting you know when and where you can pick it up. But let's say you can't come to the library to pick up the book, and you only want a few chapters of the book and not the entire book. In this case, you can use the article or chapter scan and deliver service. Currently, the service is not integrated within Sofia, so that means that after you've done your search, you would have to leave the Sofia tool and go back to the library homepage and click on this button and fill out a form to request a chapter or a couple of chapters from the print book you just found. But let's go back to Sofia. We just showed what it would look like if you found a print book, but let's say it's online resources you're looking for. Typically what happens for online resources is that you'll see a button to access the resource. So here in this example, we've found an ebook, and we can see that there's a button to access the ebook online. You can just click on the button and then enter your netname and password, and you'll be able to view the ebook. Similarly, if you found an online magazine article or online journal article, you would see a button that says View Full Text or Access Online, and clicking on it would open the article after you've entered your netname and password. If you're doing your search and you're not satisfied with the results that you're getting by looking at just the resources available at Concordia, you can expand your search by selecting Bibliothèque Universitaire du Québec to see what other BCI libraries can offer. So when I do that, you can see in the first result that there is a print book, that it's not held by Concordia Library, but is held by other BCI libraries. So we can click on the title to see how we can request this book. After we click on the title, a new pane will appear to the right, and under the Availability section, we can see that McGill owns this book, and we can request it through ILL, or Interlibrary Loans. Sometimes, it might be the case where neither Concordia nor another BCI library owns a print book. In those cases, we can see whether another library in the world owns the book, and if so, we can request it through ILL as well. It's a similar situation with online articles. In this example, I've limited my search to items at other Quebec libraries, and I've also limited my search to just articles. I've found this article that I think looks interesting, and since it's not available at Concordia, there is no button to access the article online. But if I click on the title of the article to view the full record, you'll see a button that will allow you to easily request the article through interlibrary loans. And in this case, there's no need to come to the library to pick up the article. You'll receive an email with a link to download the article. So that's a brief overview of what you can do in Sofia. But to finish up, let's look at a few things that the Sofia Discovery tool does not do. As we just saw, when you're searching for resources either at other BCI libraries or in libraries worldwide, you can easily borrow print materials as well as online articles by clicking a request button. But this is not the case for all materials. Here's an example of an ebook that's held by another library in Quebec. You can see that there's no View eBook button, and if we click on the title to get more details about this book, we can see under availability for both the Bibliothèque Universitaire du Québec and the libraries worldwide that the request through ILL button is absent. This will be the case when you're looking at ebooks, but also if you're trying to access online databases from other universities. The reason we can't access these online resources has to do with the licenses that libraries sign with the publishers. These licenses prevent universities from giving access to ebooks or databases to users that are outside of their own university community. But if you did find an ebook from another library, you could still request a couple of chapters from that ebook, but you would have to go back to our homepage and request it through the Interlibrary Loan Service. And this service is accessible under the Find menu in the gray bar on the library website. Now, one last example about what Sofia does not do very well. Like we saw, Sofia is a good tool for looking for books and articles on a specific topic, but it's often not the best tool or sophisticated enough for slightly more complex subject searches. So students should still search a variety of sources to get all the material they need when they're writing papers or working on assignments. Specifically, students should still make use of the hundreds of subject databases that we subscribe to for finding relevant journal or magazine articles. Also, students should consult the curated content on our subject guides, which are prepared by librarians, and this content can lead to really specialized resources we often recommend to our students. This brings us to the end of the presentation. This video was a brief overview of the Sofia Discovery Tool. If you have any questions, please send them to the training team.